So we're on Elvis Presley long lost footage. We're going to carry on the Priscilla conversation. So we were discussing Priscilla, how she felt about her life at Graceland, this newspaper clip that we found, that she felt like she had no life, that she was a prisoner, and that she needed to find herself. Guys, I obviously disagree with that. Remember, she moved from Bad Nauheim with her parents. She moved over to Graceland. Eventually Elvis does invite her over. We don't really know why Elvis eventually invited Priscilla over to actually live with him. We know that she visited a couple of times when she was 17, and nearer her 18th birthday she actually moves over to Graceland to stay with Vernon and Dee. We know that. So that does tell me that Elvis must have liked her. I don't think Elvis was forced into that. I do think Elvis was, maybe for a period, even a bit besotted with Priscilla. You know, we can't get away from the fact, guys, that Priscilla was a beautiful girl. She was a beautiful girl. Yeah, I know, don't worry, I'm gonna get it all cut and dyed. It's good for a quiff though, isn't it? What do you reckon, Vincenzo? I need to dye and cut my hair. I'm lucky, Vincenzo, at my age, you know, I'm 58 in July the 10th. Yeah, 58 in July 10th, guys, hint, hint. I'm joking. At my age, I'm lucky to have hair. So I forgot to put my necklace on. I forgot my TCB necklace today. So, come on, guys. Priscilla was no prisoner, yeah? Oh, that's good, Vincenzo. So, as I was saying on the other video, hi Leslie, as I was saying on the other video, people say, oh, Elvis wasn't ready to get married, to have kids, to settle down. I agree with that, yeah, but nor was Priscilla. This is the thing that people forget. Priscilla wasn't ready to get married, to have a baby. I don't know if she was even ready to live with Elvis. I think Priscilla fancied other men. It's just my opinion, guys. Hi, Stacey. I think Priscilla, when she moved over to America, to Graceland, you know, from Germany, Bad Nauheim, I think she liked other men, guys. You know, don't forget, we've seen the book Child Bride, yeah? And that hints that she had a different life. A life that wasn't so pure and innocent. That she had some serious boyfriends. And they even say that she pre-planned meeting Elvis, don't they? That Priscilla had pre-planned it. Maybe her mother was even involved. You know, the book Child Bride. So Vincenzo thinks if Gladys had lived... Well, that ain't straightforward either, Vincenzo. Because if Gladys had lived, she would have moved to Bad Nauheim with Elvis. Yeah, 100% Gladys would have been in Germany with Elvis. So that wouldn't have prevented them meeting, would it? Vincenzo, seriously. I think if Gladys had moved to Germany with Elvis, she would have met Priscilla. I do agree that there's a good chance. Well, we don't know, do we? Would Gladys have liked Priscilla? You got to remember that isn't straightforward either, because Priscilla, I think, portrayed a very different side to her personality when Elvis first met her. Remember, Priscilla, her personality was very innocent and shy when she first met Elvis in Bad Nauheim, Germany, at the house, yeah? So Gladys would have seen a very young lady, you know, 14, 15, whatever. Hi, Martha. She would have seen a very young lady. She wouldn't have seen a businesswoman. She wouldn't have seen someone who wanted to be famous, who wanted to make money, who wanted to make movies, who wanted to be a star. She would have met a very shy Priscilla. Gladys Presley would have met a very shy Priscilla. So I don't agree that Gladys would have stopped Elvis from meeting Priscilla. I think it was inevitable that she would have met Priscilla, honestly. But the big question is, would Gladys have liked her? Gladys would have stopped Elvis. Priscilla was different when she was young. Do you know what? There's actually a chance that Gladys would have liked the shy, sweet Priscilla. There's that, seriously, guys. Remember, Priscilla has two personalities. She has the shy, sweet, innocent virgin. Then secretly, she has the very ambitious girl that secretly craved fame, fortune, attention, spotlight. So Gladys would have met the shy Priscilla. So it's not straightforward, guys. Remember, Priscilla, very intelligent, very smart, may have had a plan. Everything we say is just an opinion for entertainment purposes, a discussion. Yeah, like Leslie says, deceiving. Martha says, I think Gladys would have seen right through it. I don't know. How good was Priscilla at being deceiving? You know what, you got to remember this, guys, that when Priscilla was 14, 15, yeah, she had no idea of fame and fortune. I've always thought that Priscilla, once she got a taste of fame and fortune, you know, holidaying at Graceland, then she starts to get ambitions. Priscilla had a plan. I think Gladys would have figured Priscilla out pretty fast. Dunno. Elvis didn't, so I don't know, guys. I don't know. It depends how good at deceiving Priscilla was. There we are, Leslie. She is a master at manipulation, so you got to be careful, guys. You know, I know that we all would love that Gladys would have seen straight through Priscilla. Yeah, because we love Elvis. We support, we're always on Elvis's side, Gladys's side. But the truth is, who knows? Mamas are pretty quick to protect, yes, but at that age, would she have been able to work it out at 14? I've always thought that it was once Priscilla got a taste of Graceland, of Elvis's Hollywood lifestyle, of money, of success, of stardom, of attention. It was then that she wanted it. That's how she's gotten away with everything, Aisha. Yeah, there we are. Leslie, you got it. Don't underestimate Priscilla, yeah? I actually think there's a good chance she would have tricked Gladys. There's a good chance, guys. Teresa says Gladys would have seen straight through it. I don't know. I don't think so. A 14-year-old girl that is portraying herself as a sweet, innocent virgin. Don't know, guys. Don't know. I'm not sure that Gladys would have stopped Elvis from marrying Priscilla. Now, no, that's different. Elizabeth, that's different. I don't agree with that. Elizabeth, I don't agree with you. Should I tell you why? Because by the time they get to the point of marriage, Priscilla's 21, isn't she? Yeah? So by then, Gladys would have figured out Priscilla. Gladys would have figured out Priscilla by 21. So I don't agree, Elizabeth. I actually think Gladys would have figured it out within a few years. I think Gladys would have figured out Priscilla by the time she was about 17, yeah? But by 21, she 100% would have figured her out. 100% would have worked out. So no, I'm sorry, Elizabeth, don't agree. Come on, she was 20, 21, yeah? By the time they got married, so Gladys would have sussed her out by then, yeah? She didn't need 5, 6, 7 years to work out Priscilla, so no, don't agree. I actually think Gladys would have stopped the marriage. I honestly do think Gladys would have stopped the marriage. Yeah, there we are. Gladys would have kicked Priscilla to the curb, yeah, 100% by that age. But at 14, 15, meeting her in Germany in 1959, I don't know if Gladys would have worked it out, because she come across too innocent and demure. Just an opinion for entertainment purposes, guys. What do I know? I'm just a fan. So anyway, I'm walking back now, guys. It's actually raining a little bit. So as I was saying, I personally don't think Priscilla was ready for marriage. I don't think Priscilla was ready to have a baby. I don't think Priscilla could see that she had a family. So Priscilla says she felt all alone. She needed to go out and have a life. Priscilla felt like she had no life, even though she had Elvis, she had a baby, Lisa Marie, she had a family. She did have a life. She had more of a life than anyone could ever want. She was living with Elvis in a beautiful home. She had nothing to worry about financially. She had a beautiful new baby. She could do what she wanted, go where she wanted. She obviously had her own car, her own hobbies and interests. She had a life, guys. So when Priscilla says, oh, I had no life, I had to find myself, it's bullshit. She had a great life. We all dream of having that kind of a life, don't we? A partner, a home, a baby, a small family. Isn't that what life is? So don't be fooled, guys. When Priscilla says she didn't have a life, it's bullshit. She had a great life. What's different is that she wasn't happy with the life that she had because she had other interests. She wanted fame and fortune. She didn't really want to be a mum. I think it's very clear that Priscilla didn't want to be a mum. She saw having Lisa Marie as a burden. Yeah, she definitely mistreated Lisa Marie. She saw Lisa Marie as a burden that was holding her back, preventing her from having boyfriends, from traveling, from doing business, from being a model, from making movies. You get it? Yeah, I think, people are still being, I think the people that are fooled by Priscilla now, aren't they the die-hard Priscilla fans? Aren't they the people that Priscilla can do no wrong? You know, I do think if you're a non-fan, Elizabeth, I do think if you're a non-fan, that you do believe Priscilla's bullshit. I really do. I really think if you don't bother to do your research and understand the history properly, going way back to the 50s and 60s and 70s, you're just going to believe all the snippets of news information you get on these different news clips and in some of these silly books, yeah? So I do agree non-fans have no idea of the truth. They just believe the bullshit fairy tale, you know, the fake fairy tale of Elvis and Me, the book that was made in 1985. The public are pretty gullible, aren't they? Let's face it, guys. The public are pretty gullible. They like, oh yeah, Elvis took drugs. Elvis was unfaithful. Priscilla was a poor victim. That's how the public are. I don't want to be disrespectful to the public, but that is how they see it. Elvis is the bad guy. Priscilla is the victim. It's so far from the truth. So far from the truth, guys. Seriously. And do you know what? Our little tiny channel, look at my hair going all everywhere. Our little tiny channel, we're trying to make our little bit of difference to show the world that they've been tricked and conned, spoon-fed lies for decades. And I don't know if they believe us, guys. So, yeah, my hair, the grey's definitely coming through on my hair, guys. I need to get the hair dye out. I know, I'll hold the camera further away. Can't see my hair dye. She only wanted Elvis's money and men, yeah. And do you know what? I'll tell you what, the biggest victim was poor Lisa Marie. The biggest victim of all this mess of the relationship between Elvis and Priscilla has been Lisa Marie, hasn't it? You know, Riley's life and the twins, Finley and Harper, you know, they're sort of quite distant from the relationship between Elvis and Priscilla, I think. Obviously, from a business point of view, Riley has to deal with the business side of things. Obviously, you know, even the thing where Priscilla contested Lisa Marie's wishes in the trust, that's been done and dealt with, hasn't it, guys? It's been done and dealt with. It's old news. So now Riley's role is more as a businesswoman, as the owner of Gracelands. Eventually the twins will step in as well, Finley and Harper. I don't really think Riley has to deal much with Priscilla now. Not really. There's still the question of the burial, and we are going to do some live streams discussing the fact that Priscilla wants to be buried in the meditation garden. There's even video footage showing her saying that she didn't want to be. So, and the other thing that keeps coming up is that Priscilla keeps saying that Elvis is the love of her life. Come on, guys. Why do people believe that? It's like, I literally cannot believe that people believe that Elvis is the love of her life. All you have to do is a couple of Google searches to understand that Elvis definitely was not the love of her life. So, I don't think we did this the other day, guys. I said, come on, let's break down the marriage. Let's work out exactly how long they were married for. Now, people keep saying, oh, they were together 14 years and they were married 6 to 7 years. I'm like, nah, you work it out. They got married in 67, May the 1st. 9 months later, they had a baby. 3 months after that, Priscilla was unfaithful to Elvis with Steve Peck. Well, the relationship really was over then, and that wasn't even after 1 year. So then, even if you say give them the benefit of the doubt, Priscilla made a mistake being caught having sex with Steve Peck, the dance instructor, allegedly, for entertainment purposes. This whole show is a discussion show, just for entertainment purposes, not fact, just a discussion. So then eventually, a year after that, or a couple of years after that, she secretly is seeing Mike Stone for a year, through 1971, is it? Yeah? Could have been the end of 70 through 71. So let's face it, guys, the marriage was over very quickly. The marriage was actually over, I think, from the date of the marriage, May the 1st, 1967. I think by the middle of 1970, I think their marriage was over. So when people say they were married for 6 to 7 years, nah, their relationship was over. There was no relationship. She was seeing Mike Stone secretly. Elvis, I think, may have been seeing other people as well. We've heard about Susan Henning, people like that. Their relationship was over well before the divorce. When was the divorce? Was it October 73? Vincenzo, when was the divorce? What month was it? I know it was 73, but what month? Yeah, so they had 2 years at best marriage, and a very rocky marriage, a very unhappy marriage, and the person being affected the most, but she obviously didn't realize it at first because she's just a small baby. Yeah, October, I thought it was October the 9th, 1973. But come on, she was seeing Steve Peck through 1971. So the date of the divorce is irrelevant to me. It's irrelevant, yeah. But if you read it in the tabloids or the interviews or the magazines or the YouTube stuff, it will say that they were married from May the 1st, 1967 till 1973. So it gives you the impression they were together for 6 years, but they weren't. They had a relationship. I think Elvis was very good with Priscilla through the pregnancy. I've always thought that. They got engaged, they get married, you got the pregnancy. I think Elvis through that period was quite good, quite loyal. I think the minute Elvis caught Priscilla being unfaithful with Steve Peck, the dance instructor, I think it was all over. Seriously, that's what I think, guys. Elvis started dating Joyce Bova in 1969 before the marriage ended. Yeah, do you know what? I won't whitewash Elvis. I know he was seeing other people. But remember, in 1969, Vincenzo, Elvis had caught Priscilla being unfaithful. This is what you got to remember. I always say this. If Elvis was unfaithful, what was the reason? I always say this. Break down the years, break down the months, try and understand what was happening in Elvis's life that made him want to be unfaithful. you get it, guys? Yeah, I know all about Joyce Bover. I know about her. You know, meeting Nixon and all that kind of stuff. But my point is, if you break down the relationship, there's more to it. Riley probably never read Elvis fans' social media. It was off her radar. Don't know, mate. Honestly, I don't know. If I tell you what, if I was Elvis's granddaughter, I would read it. Seriously, if my grandfather was Elvis, I'd read it. I'd want to know. Wouldn't you? Same goes for Finley and Harper. Come on, we're very curious, aren't we? Yeah, if I was Finley or Harper, I'd want to know about what had gone on with Priscilla and Elvis. 100% I would. Elvis didn't sleep with Priscilla anymore after she cheated on him with Steve Peckley. I don't blame him. Yeah, I've heard that. I mean, we can't prove that. But yes, I don't blame him. I don't blame him. She read it more since she took over in 2000. Well, Frederick, we're guessing, aren't we? Come on, we don't really know. Come on, teenagers are so curious about their past and their relatives and their, you know, come on. I actually think Riley and Finley and Harper know a lot more than you think. So, the human being are very inquisitive people, aren't we? Look at the state of my hair. What is going on? Tomorrow I'm going to cut and dye it. And I'm going to have a shave. At least my body looks okay. I look like I got a wig on. Seriously, I reckon I got a wig on. Okay, guys, we're nearly home. So we have done some 2 dog walks. Oh, I love Finley and Harper. I think they're great. I'm a massive fan of Finley and Harper and Riley. Of course I am. It's Elvis's grandkids. It's Lisa's kids. I will always, always adore them. Always. Now, Frederick, he's an expert. So, there is a chance. Let me just think. Yeah, I don't think I'm on again today. But you never know. You never know. It's raining now. It's raining. It's pouring. The old man. Woohoo! All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining me. Just a discussion about Priscilla. The moral of this live stream is I don't think Priscilla was ready for marriage or to have a baby. People keep saying it was Elvis that wasn't ready. I think it was Priscilla that wasn't ready as well. So the time in England is, what's it, about 4 o'clock? Thanks, everyone. Lots more topics coming up. Don't forget, I post a video and then a live every morning. That is what I do now. I do one of each and then we do a couple of dog walks. Take care, everyone. All the best. Thanks, Leslie. Bye-bye.